Now, before we start this video, I want to say that there is still a decently active and dedicated community for this game, which surprised me because you don't really see much on this game online, really anywhere. Like, it took me about 38 seconds to find a game-ish, which really surprised me because there was only about 6,000 active players at the time I was playing, 19 peak within the last 30 days, and which there's like 5,000 playing Among Us. Like, there's no way that this game that is based on such a popular thing is averaging about the same amount of active players as a game that died in 2020. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about why Space Marine 2 went totally MIA off the online social media presence. It really confused me because at the launch, it was the most popular game in 2024 because it was heavily waited for, heavily wanted, and it was such a cool concept. It was an extraction mission shooter with an amazing story based off of one of the most popular tabletop RPGs of all time, Warhammer 40k. This game was truly a star shining in its time. There was really nothing good that came out in 2024. No good games, no big titles, just kind of mediocre, right? Like, what was it? Astrobot won Game of the Year this year. A little PlayStation exclusive that had little to no actual proper fun gameplay, in my opinion. But where did Space Marine 2 go wrong? There was a large amount of content on release too. There was around a 6-hour story with very unique gameplay. There was a multiplayer kind of operations mode. And then there was a PvP game mode with unique classes, unique weapons. But that's the release. And that release content carried on throughout the next coming months. So, the main reason I believe that Space Marine 2 died is due to lack of content. There wasn't enough to sustain players that are driven by new content to continue playing this game after a few months. The executions were flashy, the gameplay was cool, sure, but people craved something new. People wanted something to make them want to play the game again after they put down the controller. They wanted to kind of work towards something. That's why I believe the developers made one vital mistake when working on this game. They didn't make enough content. Now, the developers have talked more about making new content. They're releasing a giant content update in the coming months. Not sure the exact release date, but it's coming and it's going to have a lot of new content. There's talk of a new class, more so of a medic rather than what we currently have in the game. The Eternal War game mode is what you're seeing in the background. In my opinion, it is one of the most fun, honestly, like, it's operations, but it's also, I feel like it's a Call of Duty clone in its own way. More so close to it in the small maps and the overall objectives. There's a domination, there's a team deathmatch. That's pretty much Call of Duty, in my opinion. So, when they added all these new features, like a third-person camera, unique abilities, and really interesting gun, and a in-depth melee system, I was really surprised when I found that there was only about 6,000, 7,000 players, because it was just such a fun game mode. The story of Space Marine 2 also just started to kind of get repetitive. It would be just your standard horde shooter. You're shooting at small little Tyranids, and there'd be some variation, sure, but there wouldn't be enough. Like, you wouldn't be fighting rival Space Marines, you wouldn't be fighting Necrons, but hopefully in the coming update that will change. Hopefully. Like, I love the Tyranids, but it kind of gets repetitive when you're fighting them non-stop for a 6-hour story. I see that would be why people would drop it so quickly, even though the executions were amazing. Like, they were so cinematic. If you moved your camera, you'd feel like you were in a movie. In conclusion, I believe the main reason Space Marine 2 died was due to lack of content. It was a fun idea, sure, but without the extra content to back it up, there was no real reason to keep playing. It was fun but there was no replayability to the story, and I could see after a while the multiplayer could get a little boring. So, why do you think it died? Before the video ends, I want to say thank you to Dubby for sponsoring me. Their product helps me get through these videos where I need to research and give an opinion on a game. So, thank you for sponsoring me, and you can use code CANCalamari141 for 10% off at checkout on any purchase. I also want to say thank you to you guys for watching. It really means the world to me, and it makes deals like this possible. So honestly, thank you guys so much. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I put some time and effort into it, so I hope it reaches the right audience. And I hope that maybe you guys would like this. I really liked it. And if you guys have any comments, or maybe I missed something, please leave it down in my comments. I'd love to read them and know you guys' opinion. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.